but we living a champagne life. And Mr. Radio Man, won't you turn that up?
Elio Martin, I'm an artist, rap artist. How y'all doing? I'm single on a Saturday night.
Don't you have a song coming up? What?
Yes, I got a song coming out right now. I got a song.
I'm supposed to know that, right?
You supposed to know that.
What's called?
I got a song with Dejor.
Dejor Hess.
Great. Dejor Hess, great artist. It's called In My Arms. We just shot a video for that. It's great. It's gonna be everywhere. And I'm also coming out with my single project. It's hot. It's dope.
It is. I checked them out. We went up to the studio. Shout out to Dejor Hess. The studio is jumping. That song is Safe in My Arms. I don't know. I'm waiting to be safe in somebody's arms. It's really a really dope song. So go ahead,
Malisha. Malisha. Okay. Single mother of one who is a grown man. So I can't say child. I'm going to say just one.
Yeah, he's a grown. He's got a grown child. Go ahead, next to you.
And I'm Dr. Dave, the soulmate specialist and owner of Diamonds in the Rough Consulting. My marital status is single, but I'm still unavailable because I'm in a relationship finally with my ordained spouse. And I'm happy everything has come together. And, she's with us, and y'all will hear more about that coming up.
All right.
And I'm Danyl Patterson. I am single. I am very available. Having a good time out here. Still working through those men that think they ready, willing, and able to handle all of this right here.
Yes, who's ready to handle it? And this is part 2 of last week's topic, and it's Are You Ring Ready? Now, see, you have to unpack that Are You Ring Ready? David believes that he is ring ready, and I would have thought that I was, but really reevaluating some things in my life, I am not quite ready. I think I have some things to work on. So I wanted to know
I'm proud of you for coming to that revelation.
Yeah. I thought I was deep at one point, and then I realized I've been a mess. I did. I shed some tears this week. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm more emotional than I thought. So how do you get to that point? Do you suggest counseling? Do you suggest something like that? How do you get to that point where you're ring ready?
So, one point I want to make real quick before I say that from last episode was that there is a lot of issue around definitions, right, and terminology. So I think one of the issues with the term submission is that people think the concept of submission, they're mixing submission up with subjugation.
I agree.
And there's a difference between submission and subjugation. And subjugation is where all of the negative things that the term submission, that's where there's a inappropriate or inaccurate connotation. But submissiveness brings about the kind of that dual sacrifice that men and women should be giving unto each other. That's actually appropriate thing for relationships, but people are thinking subjugation when they're saying the word submission. So I just wanted to say that. And in terms of being ring ready, for me, my walk was very spiritual, right? So I believe in hearing from God on who your ordained spouse is, soulmate. Sometimes your soulmate and ordained spouse are two different people, which is the case, it was and is the case for me. And sometimes you're lucky enough to have them be the same person. So for me, I got word from God one day, and I wasn't asking, I wasn't praying for nothing. I was walking back to work from lunch, and He said, "You're ready. You're waiting on the one. You're ready." So I knew from that. But if I look at what was going on with me at that time, I was more serious in walking the celibate path. I was the whole cheating and sexual stuff that I dealt with, the sexual immaturity, the relationship immaturity, I was done with, and I was really focused on sacrificing and being ready to not be selfish and think about someone else more than I thought about myself. And so I was at that point in my life spiritually, and that's why I believe I got that "you're ready" from God. So, for those who don't believe in the spiritual piece, then just take the practical part of it, which is you have to be willing to not be selfish and be willing to think of someone else as an extension of yourself. So you wouldn't hurt yourself because you see that person, your significant other, the woman that you love or man you love, you see that person as part of you. So it's that kind of mindset, the renewal of the mind, that I think gets people ready.
Yeah, and I have to agree with him. I'm speaking from, I'm engaged spiritual path. We'll be married next year. And it's really something because I knew him. He was my friend.
but I was in a really, really broken space. And a lot of people say, don't use that word brokenness. I was in a space of brokenness after being so much for so many people. What it is that I do, people call me in the middle of the night because people can be kind of selfish that way. And I'm talking about people that I love and care about. Not clients, but people who actually mean something to me. And it just did something to me. It was just a lot. It was that, along with I just came out of a relationship that was counterproductive to everything it is that I am. That's what I thought. And the day it is, even with me being a coach, me doing what it is that I do, I was spiritually led to do it. So me praying, and the day it is that he came to me, and like I said, he was my friend for 3 years. The day that he came to me, I was in the midst of a really broken place, and I needed somebody. All of this that I asked the Most High for and the ancestors for was to put something in me that would give me the answer to who it was that I just needed to talk to. I needed somebody, a physical person at that point, because I had already did the praying. I meditated. I've invested in myself. I've invested a lot of money in my healing. And a lot of us as a people refuse to do that. You have to invest your time, your effort, your energy, and actually going through a process of healing who you are. Like childhood stuff, as I shared earlier, are things that people carry well into their 60s. Still mad at parents who passed away 40 years ago. And they can carry these things into relationships. So until it is that you put yourself in a position where you're willing to deal with yourself, and I was willing to deal with myself. I was willing to deal with the fact that I was molested as a child. And I speak my truth every day, all day. That's what my brand is built off of. I had to be totally nude and vulnerable with God in order for God to be able to open me up to be able to receive what it is that I receive. So even with the day it is that my fiance came into my life on this level, it was something that I was ready to sign myself up for a 3-day. I share this in seminars and workshops all the time. If nobody knows what a 3-day is, it is when you are mentally just broken and shattered. I worked in mental health for 18 years. So as being somebody who was always helping other people, I now needed somebody to help me. And God had always been there. My ancestors had always been there. I needed a kind soul to be there. And he was there. From one phone call, I just called him. He heard a crack in my voice. We've been together every day ever since. It'll be 2 years on the 26th of September, and we'll be married next year on the 26th of September.
Congratulations.
My mama's birthday is because, it's a good day.
Well, we're going to go to a break, but when we come back, I wanted to know some tips. Like, we say we got to do this, and that. I just say, is there some things that we can do, like, that we need to focus on to get to a certain point? This is Single on a Saturday Night right here at The Grill, 1080 North Delaware Avenue. Shout out to Howard Gilliam Jr. He worked with Meek Mills before he got the deal. When he had the dreads, and of course he was on Urban Expressions back in the day. Of course, Meek Mills, Howard Gilliam Jr. If you want your wedding done, if you want a wedding, bar mitzvah, coming out party, whatever it is, Howard Gilliam Jr. is the man on the production side. And of course, Rashina Stewart of Lotus Beauty Spa. If you're looking for a natural and or weed, she is the one to do it. It's a full service spa. Just opened up with the whole feet, the hair, the massage, everything. Right there in the Cedarbrook Plaza. Let's go to a break, and we're going to be coming back to some food later. Woo-woo, The Grill.
I felt like Cinderella.
I said, that's fiction. I dropped my hat and ran.
The whole veil comes off.
A little bit X-rated. Happy birthday, Tracy!
Hit the gas and took off.
It is Single on a Saturday Night right here at The Grill. 1080 North Delaware Avenue. They have a Southern style breakfast. That's right. right. Every morning you can come here and get a Southern style breakfast. That's chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits. Oh my goodness, the food is outstanding.
If you're just lazy, you can hit up Uber Eats, and they've got an entire extensive menu, which includes a fabulous, fabulous brunch. It changes daily.
Yes, it does.
Yes, crab cake hash is everything.
Yes, it is. That's The Grill. Look it up. thegrill247.com. Follow them on social media. Because that social media person that does it is so outstanding. I think she's awesome.
Must be you.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we are back. Are you ring ready? I think you had something to say, didn't you? I think you wanted to throw. I think you wanted to throw. I heard something about you wanted to throw with Katrice. You wanted to grill her.
We were giving you the opportunity.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just asking Katrice why she break his heart like that.
Why she break his heart?
Yeah.
Ooh, we got heartbreak over there. What's going on?
Look, I actually went through a process of therapy in my relationship. I went through a process of just a lot. So at the end of the day, it was just time to go.
I mean, 9 years, that's a long time.
I chose to go. It was actually on my birthday. He asked, and I said, yes, I'm ready to go. It's time, it's done.
You was like, what do I want for my birthday? Freedom!
Exactly.
I don't blame you. I mean, I don't understand being in a relationship 9 years, and I just don't understand being with somebody that long. Have you been in long relationships?
Yeah.
My longest relationship, 3 years.
Oh, that's good. I mean, you beat
3 years.
me.
It was.
Everybody beat me.
I mean, it was good. It was just we wanted different things when it came down to it. You know, she wanted family. I didn't want that right now.
You wasn't ready for it.
I wasn't ready for that, and I'm not going to just do it because somebody wants it when I'm not ready, and then the responsibility really falls on you. You got to step up and be a man. Ooh. And I'm all about stepping up and being a man. I handle my own responsibilities, but to that extent, I wasn't that ready. Like career-wise, I wasn't ready. You know, my financial has to be at a great point where I can say, I can do this. It's because anything can happen. Anything can happen. One party can say, you can get hurt, anything can happen. God forbid somebody passes away, God forbid anything, unemployed, fired. You got to be able to step up and say, I can hold us. So until I'm able to do that, I wouldn't dare do anything like that. It's just not right.
And when it's time, you know, this is a dope man right here. He gonna hold it down.
Of course.
So what are some tips that you can is there something we need to do? I mean, because I think you say I do, I don't. But me, Katrice, and Malisha said that we're not ring ready. Is there something that we need to do? Is there something we need to reevaluate to get to that point? I mean, do you have tips for us? I mean, since you know, you all ordained and everything.
I mean, one thing I would say, you know, obviously there's a lot of things, and it would be tailor made to each individual, you know, and it would come from, you know, talks and sessions and things like that. But to give a general piece, I would say, you know, I guess I could leak this little part of the story. My ordained spouse walked into what I did in purpose. So I created a ministry at the beginning of the most painful part of my journey towards the altar. God told me to do his work and he would do mine. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but he led me to create the Soulmate Ministry for Singles, which you have attended, Malisha has attended. And I created that. A year later, she walked in, right? She walked in, listen to what that says. She walked into what I created on purpose, through purpose. So I had to be at a part. So that explains why sometimes there's a difference between, or there's two different people, a soulmate and ordained spouse. My soulmate is the one who got me on my purpose path to even hear and be able to build the ministry, right? That had to come first before the ordained spouse came later. So it's a timing thing. So what I would say is, be on your purpose. Find one, know what your purpose is, and be building that, like my man is saying, right?
Exactly.
Be building what your purpose, know what you're here to do, why God put you here. Do that. Be doing that. Be found doing that. And if you're doing that, then you are building the very thing that will attract the one to you. Yeah. Right? So that's one thing I would say. So some people don't know what that is, so find that.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to go down the line. I mean, do you know I mean, I know you're a lawyer and and all that. But do you understand your purpose? I mean, is that something that you feel like you still looking for?
No, I'm a community activist. That's what I am. That is the core of who I am. It's why I ran for judge, because I believed that people needed to understand that judges are the foundation of our government and that they give everybody access to justice. So I absolutely understand why I'm here. I understand what I'm doing. And you know what? Once I ran, I met a whole bunch of men on the campaign trail who were much more interested in my community activism and input rather than competing with it.
Absolutely. So, Malisha, when you think about it, I mean, we have this conversation a lot, thinking about purpose. I feel like maybe the reason why we're not ready is we're still looking for a purpose. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't feel like I've found exactly my purpose. I feel like I am working on it and still looking and trying to find what that is, yeah.
I think sometimes that can be really difficult to find. I think I thought at one point, I know my purpose. I always thought I did, but sometimes things change. A lot of things. I think my life has just been through ups and downs. It changes consistently and constantly. That I maybe that's why I'm feeling like I'm not ready, because I don't understand where I am right now. I don't understand why I go from this place to this place. Why I go from a job to being an entrepreneur. Not saying that I don't mind being an entrepreneur, but I was getting really kind of cushy in my being a real employee.
But maybe it got uncomfortable for you because that wasn't where you were supposed to be.
Right.
I mean, it stifled your creativity. It took away from those things that gave you passion. So then what happened? A time came for God to take that away from you. I mean, you want a God got it. So then there you go. God got it. He got you right on out of it.
And it is really something how that happens. I became a coach. And I can put this out there now because I've been working for myself for almost 7 years. But I literally, and I shared the story with Shelly, I literally became a coach. I was spiritually led to become one. I was working as a behavior specialist for almost 18 years. And I worked in the educational sector. So I went from that to I needed a break. I worked at a call center. I shared the story with you. I worked at a call center for 2 years. For the first year, I was fine. I woke up one day and I'm like, wow, I can't do this anymore. I want them, and I prayed and I asked God, and I don't suggest anyone do this. It just worked for me. This is my disclaimer. I actually prayed and I asked God, please put me in a position where I can collect unemployment and I can figure out what it is that you want me to do.
That's a very common prayer, as my clients will tell you.
It's not about me, and it's not about what it is that I want. It's about what it is that you actually designed me to do. And it is a beautiful thing to be in your space where you do it every single day. I don't work at all, because I am living in my purpose and my passion. And God, this is what it is. This is the assignment that God gave me to do.
All right.
That's
so
good.
Do you feel like, Katrice, do you feel like you... Well, go ahead. Do you find like you know your passion? I mean, because you have a lot of things you work on, but do you know your passion? Do you think that's...
I think I'm walking in purpose now, actually. I feel like when... almost 2 years ago, I was not thinking about being a model. I was not worrying about being a model. I was like, I'm working on my children's books, and that's it. And somebody scouted me, and I was like, okay, let me try and see. But then I realized, I was like, this is something I actually love doing. I meet a lot of people. I know exactly what I want to do and when I want to do it. I feel like God constantly pushes me towards, and I know that it's Him because I always pray about it. Anything and everything I do, I pray about it before I do it. And I always ask God for direction and okay, is this you? Before I do it, because I don't want to do something that's not within, like, on purpose. And if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like I'm actually walking in purpose now. I kind of know what I want to do and what I am doing. So I came up yesterday, like this week right here alone has been a lot of direction. God has been directing me the whole entire time. I've been scared. I've been like, you sure you want me to do this? It's just a lot of stuff. And God, He will interrupt your plans. Shelly?
You know what though, Katrice, I could be down and out. All of a sudden a text will come from Katrice. Listen, and it should have a word, but it's such a great word. But we're gonna go to a break right now. This is Single on a Saturday Night right here at the Grill. Shout out to alvinastyles.com. The bling. This is the bling. She also has the stockings. You know what? I didn't really wear stockings before, but she has those stockings. I guess they're like fishnetty back in the day stockings, but they came up to this day.
Vintage. The vintage look.
The vintage stockings. So I like those. So she has that alvinastyles.com. Rashina Stewart. Let's check out a clip from the grand opening of Lotus Beauty Spa right here at the Grill, 1080 North Delaware Avenue. Go Howard. Go Howard. Howard Gilliam Jr.
This is a song I sing.
So how can we get in touch with you?
You can contact us on Facebook at lotusbeautyspa.inc. You can catch us on Instagram. Add us at lotusbeautyspa112 at Instagram.com. And our new website is mylotusbeautyspa.com.
All right, and you're open 7 days a week. So 7 days a week you can get all your beauty needs taken care of right here at Lotus Beauty Spa, 1000 Eastern Road in the Cedarville Plaza. Come on, right here. Come on. Make an appointment.
We're here. Get them eyebrows.
You see all this? You see all this? Right here. Do your eyebrows.
That's right.
We are back, Single on a Saturday Night right at the Grill, 1080 North Delaware Avenue, 1080 North Delaware Avenue. Music is jumping. That is Jay Jetson. That is DJ Jay Jetson. He is the son of DJ Smooth. So shout out to DJ Smooth, shout out to Jay Jetson. We are talking about Are You Ring Ready? And Tasty Tamara, we always just mess up her whole name, but it's really Tamara. She is day one single on a Saturday night. She started out single, but however, she's not married. She's now married. So tell us that process of coming from singleness to married. Did you think you were ready, or did you get ready? Didn't Single on a Saturday Night aid in that whole getting ready? Say, no, I'm just saying. No,
It did.
It did. Come on,
I'm just telling you it did.
That sisterhood.
Shout out to SOSN. Yes.
Day one.
From day one. My backstory, a lot of you know, young lady mentioned about being molested, raped as a child or whatever. Yes. I spent most of my life always being there for other people. When I joined a group, or someone put me in a group, and I'm like, I don't know what these women are about, because I don't do a lot of women like that, but I love you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
5 years later, right?
That too changed for me, because I'm like, I don't want to be around a bunch of women with a whole bunch of problems. Only for me to find out that the problems that everybody else was having was the same ones that I already had. So I'm thinking, you know what? That's a good response to that question. That's something I'm going through right now. So at that point in time in my life, I decided, you know what? It's time for me to be selfish. And in doing that, when I made it about me, that's when my purpose came, and I opened myself to be ready. And as far as the purpose go, my husband, who you don't know, is 22 years older than I am, but he is a Legionnaire, and I am a part of the Legion family. So all these years, this man had already been in my circle, and I never knew that.
Wow.
All because some ladies that are posts had to be nosy and threw my name out there, and that's how conversation started. And 3 years later,
3 years later, congratulations. She's been 3 years. July.
Yeah.
June 29th.
June.
The first and only wedding I ever cried at. The only wedding, because I could care less about people getting married. Mostly I'm like, can we get to the part we drink and dance? But because I just like, it's hot, it's boring, y'all taking too long. But to see the love and the commitment and the excitement and the joy just between the two of them and the families embracing them was one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen.
It is beautiful because like I said, she started out where we are. Some people don't think that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's that person. It is possible, and it doesn't always look the way you want. It's not always the way you want, but you found your purpose in the Legion. And none of us really understood the Legion thing, but she was the president, and she was the president
and
of
she was
it.
making us go, and I was like, why we got to go with these old men with canes and dance with them? But we was out there dancing with the old men with canes.
Outgoing chaplain at this point, incoming correspondence secretary, and in fact, Evelyn just left. She is our incoming president.
Yeah, she did win. Congratulations. Congratulations Sunday.
Is she going to?
Yeah, she just walked out. You know, these Legionnaire people got all the responsibilities. You know, Legionnaires is a disease. Get on.
But listen, but that just shows us all that it is possible. It's just maybe that whole purpose. Because I'm thinking, okay, now we find your purpose. What else is there? What else do you do? What else?
Well, finding
what's the
your
next?
purpose means to be different. What it is that you've been doing that has been consistent, you might have to put a hiccup in that road. You know, instead of you going straight and you always take that same road going home, you may need to take that left. See what's over there to the left. If it's not for you, hey, on the way home, take that right. See what's over there. Because as long as you stay on that straight and narrow, that safe road, you're never going to get to your purpose.
I agree.
That is so very true. If you're consistently doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you're expecting different results, you're never going to get them.
Nope.
Sometimes you do have to go to the, like she said, go to the right instead of going to the left. That's in everything it is that you do in your life. We get to a space where being comfortable, being safe is being comfortable. And sometimes you got to do some things to rattle that thing up. And you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position in order to grow.
Well, you know what? I started doing tasty. Shelly, because I'm sorry, because somebody asked me. No, somebody actually asked me about this. I'm sorry. Somebody actually asked me about this. You know, like those Facebook events. Like, do you ever just go to one and you don't know anybody? Well, on the campaign trail, I had to go to a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't want to go to. And, you know, I would drag myself there and usually drag you with me. But 10 minutes later, it was so much fun. And finally, I was seeing different people because I had gotten so tired of like, it's the same, like people like, oh, you come? No, I'm not coming because I don't want to go see the same person that's at the opening of an envelope on 12th Street. I'm really tired of those people. So when the circle started widening and expanding, I said, once the campaign trail was over, I'm still out doing those things, not just in the community service attribute, but you know what, exploring some different options, some different things that I never would have wanted to go to. I am now enjoying fully and enjoying those people because I don't feel like I know them all. I don't feel like, you know, it's like I don't like the TV show Empire and I don't like the TV show Power. Yes, I'm one of those people, y'all can take my black card now. Why don't I like them? Because every one of these shows is about some drug dealer that made some money and trying to wash it and trying to get good. Like, I know 55 of them people. I don't need to watch a show about it. I would much rather watch Scandal because I don't know any political fixers, okay? So I'm very, very fascinated by that. I want to know how to get away with murder because you know these men, I'm just saying.
I do want to piggyback on what it is that Danyl just said in regards to the circle. Sometimes not only should your circle change, sometimes you have to get rid of people in your circle. If you are surrounded by toxic, negative people, it's time for you to do some readjusting. That's another tip too.
Well, you got to recognize that they're toxic.
Well,
that's, I think, our biggest problem.
Most people do recognize that they're toxic because they'll talk about them. They'll talk about them to their girlfriend. You know, so-and-so, how it is she always doing da-da-da-da-da. Oh, my God, I hate when she comes. Why she got to come? Why are you still hanging out with her? Why are you guys still
I think they're still stuck. It's that crabs in the barrel. It's like, you know what? I don't want to upset you in our friendship. But at the end of the day, like I just said, it's not about them. It's about you.
I don't even think it's either one of those things. I think is that we're afraid.
Yeah.
We're not only are we afraid of being alone in a male-female or lover relationship, we're afraid of being alone in our friendships, period. So if that's comfortable and I know I can count on her to go to the movie when I want to go to the movie, you got to learn how to go to the movie by yourself.
Yes,
when it's, I'm just calling her because I want to go to dinner.
But Shelly,
you got to learn how to go to dinner by yourself. You might learn that you like some Indian food or some African food or some Ethiopian food. You know? You might learn that you like some Ethiopians and Africans and Jamaicans. See, I tried all that. I know I don't like that.
Because guys, guys, they don't always approach when there's a couple, like when it's two women or more.
Right.
They're more likely to approach a woman when she's alone.
Well,
so if you're always going with your girlfriends, it's good for companionship. I get that, but that sometimes, deters men from approaching.
Well, I learned to go alone. Of course, when I was working every Friday night, I would go to my favorite restaurant every Friday night. I learned to do that. It wasn't. I didn't. We talked to y'all. Talked me through it, and I went. I did it one time, and then it became. This is what I want to do. I couldn't find somebody to go spend that money. Everybody would think it was ridiculous to spend that kind of money every single week, but it was me. It was mine. I did it. So I did learn. But this is actually the end of the show. So thank you to Celeste, Michelle Rice. Do you have a website?
Thank you for having me. My website is cmrlifemanagement.com.
And she's decided whether she likes it or not, because she might come back next week. She's going to decide. She's going to marinate on it. And Elio Martin, he is deciding.
No, I'm coming back.
Yeah, but
he's
decisive. Everyone, he's coming back. But so this is Single on a Saturday